really unfortunate that Caitlin Clark missed it. The crowd would have been exploding. A big miss as far as the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark was supposed to be the crown jewel of All-Star Weekend, the face of the WNBA's explosive rise. The reason fans booked hotels months in advance and paid hundreds just to sit in the nosebleeds, but instead, what they got was a ghost town, a financial disaster, and a PR collapse in real time. Because when the league's brightest star went down with injury, the entire house of cards they built around her came crashing down. Ticket prices didn't just dip, they plummeted by over 75% within hours. Vendors were stuck with unsold merch. Local businesses were left scrambling with empty tables and canceled reservations. And the All-Star game that was hyped as the biggest in league history turned into a glorified scrimmage with no defense, no energy, and no reason for fans to care. All because the WNBA refused to protect the one player who brought the spotlight in the first place. And now the fans are angry, the money is gone, and the silence from league leadership is deafening as everyone asks the same brutal question: how did they let it get this bad? And can the WNBA even survive without Caitlin Clark? Indianapolis spent months turning the city into a Caitlin Clark shrine. They plastered her face across a 34-story banner on the JW Marriott, dropped a full-size all-star basketball court in the airport, coordinated fan events across downtown, and poured millions into what was supposed to be the most electrifying weekend in WNBA history. Gainbridge Fieldhouse sold out instantly. Scalpers were making bank. The cheapest tickets started at $121. Resale averages shot up to $262. And VIP floor seats were breaking records as the most expensive in All-Star Game history. Fans were flying in from across the country. Local restaurants added shifts. Hotels were booked solid. And every single vendor was stocked up and ready for the Caitlin Clark effect to explode into real revenue. It was her homecoming, her moment, her city, and her spotlight, until one announcement shattered it all. Caitlin Clark was injured and out. And in seconds, everything unraveled. The moment Caitlin Clark's injury hit social media, ticket prices didn't just fall, they nosedived like a plane in free fall. From $262 to $64 in under 6 hours. The get-in price dropped from $121 to $65, and even at those bargain bin prices, fans weren't buying. The resale market turned into a panic zone. People who bought tickets as investments were desperately slashing prices. $100, $80, $70, $64, still no takers. And you could literally watch the collapse unfold in real time on Twitter, on TikTok, on StubHub. 1 minute there was hype, the next minute there was silence. Fans were saying they only came to see Clark. They booked flights, hotel rooms, scheduled vacation days just for her. And with her gone, they wanted out, refunds, resale, anything. Because the WNBA without Caitlin Clark, that wasn't what they paid for. And the market made that crystal clear. She wasn't just a player, she was the product. This wasn't just a game day hiccup, it was a full-blown economic disaster. Downtown Indianapolis felt the shockwave instantly. Restaurants that bulked up for record crowds were left half empty. Hotels started getting cancellation calls within minutes. Local vendors holding thousands in All-Star merch were stuck watching their inventory collect dust. Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the crown jewel of fever home games, where every seat had been filled for nearly 2 years straight, was suddenly facing its first major event with rows of empty chairs. And the heartbreak didn't stop there. This wasn't just ticket money lost, it was parking fees. It was bar tabs. It was tourism revenue. It was the ripple effect of one star missing from one game. But not just any star. This was Caitlin Clark, the reason people tuned in, showed up, and cared. And without her, the WNBA wasn't just down a player, it was down a purpose. Caitlin Clark's injury didn't come out of nowhere. It wasn't a random twist or freak accident. It was the direct result of months of violent, targeted, unchecked abuse on the court. Opposing players figured out fast that they could get away with hammering her, grabbing her, shoving her off screens, slamming her on drives, and the refs. They stood there and watched like it was part of the game plan. From the jump, she was treated like a crash test dummy instead of a superstar. Angel Reese alone delivered more than her share of hard fouls, not basketball moves, cheap shots, straight-up hits, and no whistles. And what made it worse was the laughing, players assaulting her and smiling about it like it was some kind of joke. And the league let it happen, game after game, hit after hit. And now here we are. The All-Star Weekend ruined, millions lost, fans furious. And it all could have been prevented if anyone had stepped in and actually protected the most valuable asset the WNBA has ever seen. Stephanie White saw the storm coming from a mile away. The Indiana Fever coach wasn't whispering. She was yelling, calling out the absurd double standard her star player faced every single night. She said it plainly. There's a level of physicality people get away with against Caitlin Clark that no one else deals with. And she was right. White knew it when she coached against her. And she knew it even more when she watched her player get beat down without a single whistle. And she wasn't being dramatic, she was being honest. This wasn't just tough defense. This was borderline assault disguised as competition. And every time the officials ignored it, they sent the same message: Clark was fair game. No protection, no calls, no consequences, and now she's injured. The league's biggest weekend is ruined, and Stephanie White is sitting there knowing that all of this could have been avoided if people had listened when it actually mattered. Lisa Leslie didn't sugarcoat it. She's been there, she knows the pain. And when she heard Caitlin Clark was dealing with a groin injury, she didn't hesitate, she said it straight. This kind of injury doesn't just heal, it lingers, it follows you, and it changes how you move, how you play, how you train. Leslie had that same injury in 2006, and to this day she still feels it when she plays tennis. She talked about the deep muscle pain, the constant pressure, the taping, the ice, the heat, the frustration of thinking you're okay then making one wrong step and feeling it snap back like a rubber band. And now Clark has to manage that in the middle of her rookie season while being the face of an entire league. And the truth is, none of this had to happen. This wasn't bad luck. This was built up hit by hit, foul by foul, night after night, while referees stood frozen and league officials stayed silent. And now Clark's paying the price with her body while the league pays in broken trust and lost millions. While ticket prices collapsed, fans organized boycotts, and the league faced its biggest PR crisis in years. Commissioner Cathy Engelbert had one job: lead, address the officiating mess, take accountability, and fix the problem. But instead, she delivered a cold, corporate statement so tone-deaf it made fans even angrier. She talked about productive meetings, constructive conversations, shared goals, and completely avoided saying the one thing everyone needed to hear: that the officiating was garbage and it cost the league everything. Over 40 players and league executives met behind closed doors, and when reporters asked Engelbert about it, she gave the safest, blandest non-answer in sports history. Fans weren't buying it, players weren't buying it. No one cared about PR spin, while Clark was sidelined and Indianapolis was burning economically. And the worst part? She said no one's ever happy with officiating, as if that explained anything. As if Clark's injury, the ticket crash, the empty arena, and the boycott were all just business as usual when they were the direct result of her failure to act. The officiating wasn't just inconsistent, it was blatantly biased. Because while Caitlin Clark gets hammered and gets nothing, players like Breanna Stewart get 14 free throws, A'ja Wilson gets 13. But Aaliyah Boston, she can't play 20 minutes without getting benched for foul trouble. The pattern is obvious. If you wear an Indiana Fever jersey, get ready to be punished by the refs. It's not just Clark anymore, it's the entire team. And the message is clear: no protection, no fair calls, no respect. And fans are watching, analysts are watching, everyone sees what's going on. And it's destroying the WNBA's credibility one game at a time. This isn't about missed calls, it's about a broken system that targets the very players driving the league's growth. And as long as the referees keep playing favorites and the league keeps pretending everything's fine, more stars are going to get hurt, more fans are going to walk away, and the damage will get worse every single time leadership chooses silence over accountability. This All-Star Weekend wasn't just a failure, it was a warning shot, a brutal reminder that without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is a castle built on sand. The hype, the ticket sales, the record-breaking viewership, it all collapses without her. And the fans made that crystal clear. They stopped buying. They stopped showing up. They stopped caring. Because if the league won't protect its biggest star, why should anyone invest in it? Clark brought everything momentum, media attention, millions in revenue. And what did she get in return? Targeted abuse, ignored fouls, and a groin injury that could follow her for years. And while fans begged for justice and accountability, Commissioner Engelbert gave them boardroom buzzwords and empty promises. And now the league is bleeding financially. Emotionally and reputationally, the All-Star Game was a disaster. The mascot got more attention than the players, and the product on the court looked like a scrimmage nobody wanted to watch. The WNBA had a generational opportunity, and they blew it. And the scariest part, if they don't wake up now, if they don't fix officiating, protect their stars, and listen to the fans, this won't just be a one-time failure, it'll be the beginning of the end. So the real question now isn't what went wrong, it's whether they're willing to change before there's nothing left to save.